Welcome to an uncharted land. Right here on this planet, there exists a land where calendars, clocks, and the way people measure the day have taken a completely different path. Here, a new day doesn't begin when the clock strikes midnight. It begins when the first rays of sunlight touch the earth. Never completely colonized, never culturally altered. Ethiopia still measures life with a system that the modern world cannot erase. You might think you're traveling to a faraway land. But in Ethiopia, you might feel like you've just stepped through a time warp. This is Ras Dashen, rising 15,157 feet into the clouds. It sits higher than Mount Whitney in California. They call this place the roof of Africa. Up here, the horizon stretches endlessly, carved by massive wind currents and ancient volcanic explosions. This isn't just high ground, it's the shattered remnant of a prehistoric megavolcano. Millions of years ago, the Earth here blew itself apart, leaving behind a surreal, alien labyrinth of razor-sharp basalt towers and vertical abysses that drop straight into nothingness. Look down, below your boots. A literal sea of white clouds rolls against jet-black cliffs like ocean waves crashing in slow motion. The wind howls. Freezing air slaps your skin. One wrong step on these loose, frost-covered rocks, and it's a thousands of feet plunge into the dark gorges below. Raw, unforgiving, absolutely breathtaking. Then the earth literally splits open beneath your feet. Look down into the Great Rift Valley. It is a massive geological tear in the planet's crust, so deep, wide, and violent that it can easily be seen by astronauts floating in space. A 60-mile wide canyon ripping the continent in half, creating a dramatic landscape of steep drops, endless green plateaus, and raw, untouched beauty. In this isolated world above the clouds, you meet the permanent residents who call these treacherous cliffs home. Perched on the edge of a 3,000-foot drop sits a creature straight out of a myth, the Galata monkey. They are the only grass-eating primates on the planet. But you will not notice their diet first. You will notice their chest. Right over their vital organs sits a patch of hairless, bright crimson skin shaped like an hourglass. It looks like an open, bleeding wound. Locals call them the bleeding heart monkeys. Hundreds of them sit together on the chilly cliff edges, chewing quietly on alpine grass, their thick brown manes blowing softly in the freezing wind. Keep moving through the golden mist, and if you are lucky, a shadow moves through the tall grass. Sleek, fast, terrifyingly rare. The Ethiopian wolf. This is not a common gray wolf you see roaming through Yellowstone National Park. It is the rarest wild dog species on Earth. Only 500 of these flame orange predators remain in the wild. Slim legs, long snouts, and sharp eyes engineered to hunt rodents in the thin air of the high-altitude tundra. Seeing one is like catching a glimpse of a living ghost, a silent survivor clinging to life on top of the continent. Out here, thousands of feet above the rest of the world, time slows down completely. The dizzying chaos of the city turns into absolute silence. The cool wind hits your face, carrying the scent of wild thyme and damp earth. You take a deep breath of thin alpine air. The heart rate slows. The mind settles. It is a quiet, breathtaking moment of peace. But do not get too comfortable. Because just beyond these peaceful mountains lies one of the most hostile, dangerous environments on the planet. You are now standing in the heart of Ethiopia. Welcome to Addis Ababa. Perched over 7,500 feet above sea level, this city sits higher than Denver, Colorado, the famous Mile High City. Up here, the air is thin, crisp, and perpetually cool. It is a city of wild contradictions. By night, wealthy locals sip craft cocktails at glowing rooftop lounges overlooking a glittering skyline. By day, you are plunged into Mercato, an open-air market, so massive it covers an area larger than 80 football fields. A chaotic, pulsing labyrinth of spice merchants, coffee roasters, and sheer human hustle. It feels like any booming global metropolis trying to race into the future. But look closer at a wall calendar inside a local shop. You blink. You check your watch. You check your phone. The year on the wall does not say 2026. It says 2018. You haven't stepped onto a film set. You haven't fallen into a trap. Welcome to the ultimate time warp. While the rest of the planet runs on the Gregorian calendar, Ethiopia operates on its ancient Coptic calendar. They are not running late. They are intentionally living 7 to 8 years in your past. Think a year has 12 months, not here. Ethiopia's year has 13 months. 12 equal months of 30 days, plus a mini 13th month tucked at the end that lasts just 5 or 6 days. Tourism boards literally advertise it as 13 months of sunshine. And if that doesn't melt your brain, try setting an alarm. In America, your day starts at midnight in pitch darkness. In Ethiopia, the clock resets when the sun actually shows up. 6 in the morning international time, that is 000 local time, hour 1 of the day. "12 o'clock here means noon. 12 o'clock there means dusk. A total reversal of how 4 billion people measure their lives." Leave the modern chaos of Addis Ababa behind, because the real Ethiopia is written in stone, earth, and bloodlines older than human memory. As you travel north, the concrete jungle vanishes, replaced by towering vertical jagged cliffs. You are now stepping into the Danakil Depression. Sitting 381 feet below sea level, this is officially the hottest inhabited place on Earth. Summer temperatures regularly soar past 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade. Look down at the blinding yellow landscape of the Dalol geothermal field. It looks like an alien planet, neon yellow, bright green, and searing orange pools bubbling wildly out of the crust. But do not be fooled by the vibrant colors. This water is boiling, saturated with deadly acid and belching toxic sulfur gas into the air. One deep breath burns your lungs. One misplaced step dissolves your boots. This extreme environment shapes an equally fierce human tapestry across the rural countryside, where 78% of the population lives in round mud and thatch huts called tukuls. But travel south, and logic bends again. The Doors tribe builds towering beehive homes out of bamboo, standing 26 feet high. Then, you hit the Omo Valley, a region frozen in time, home to tribes with mind-bending rituals. In the Mercy tribe, women slice their lower lips and insert heavy clay plates as large as a dinner saucer, a striking symbol of beauty and pride. Nearby, the Hamer tribe performs a terrifying rite of passage. To become a man, a young boy must strip naked, run across the slick backs of 7 wooden planked bulls lined in a row, and not fall. Miss a step, and you face social shame. Succeed, and you earn the right to marry. Surviving in a land that requires absolute toughness. But beneath this harsh, unyielding exterior lies a warmth that will catch you completely off guard. After the blistering heat of Danakil and the raw, intense rituals of the Omo Valley, the tempo drops into a soothing, deeply sensory embrace. It begins with an aroma drifting through the air, roasted coffee beans, frankincense, and sweetgrass. Centuries ago, right here in the ancient region of Kaffa, a young goat herder named Kaldi noticed his herd dancing wildly after eating bright red berries from a wild bush. He tried them himself, discovering a burst of energy that would eventually conquer the entire planet. Ethiopia gave the world its ultimate daily fix, coffee. Here, drinking coffee is not a quick 2-minute drive-through run at Starbucks. It is a sacred, unhurried ritual. A host spreads fresh green grass across the floor, roasts raw green beans over open coals, and pours thick, dark espresso from a traditional black clay pot called a jabina. You are served 3 distinct rounds, each carrying a deeper spiritual meaning. A bowl, the strong first cup that wakes the senses. Tona, the smoother second round of conversation. And Baraka, the final cup, which literally translates to a blessing. To refuse an invitation to a coffee ceremony is not just rude, it is considered a direct insult to the host's honor. And when you visit Ethiopia, you shouldn't miss this dish, injera. It is a massive, spongy, sourdough flatbread fermented for 3 full days using teff, an ancient tiny grain endemic to the Ethiopian highlands. It acts as your plate, your bread, and your fork all at once. Spread across this giant pancake is doro wat, a rich, fiery chicken stew, slow-cooked for hours with melted spiced butter and berbere, a blazing red spice blend that hits your palate with intense heat and deep complexity. You tear off a piece of soft injera, scoop up the piping hot stew, and just as you lift it to your mouth, your host stops you. This brings us to Gursha, one of the most intimate dining traditions on earth. The oldest person at the table takes a large bite of food wrapped in injera and feeds it directly into your mouth with their bare right hand. It is an act of pure trust, hospitality, and deep respect. As you chew the warm spice food, smiles break out around the room. You hear the phrase "Yene Konjo" whispered with genuine warmth. It translates to "my beautiful one." This intense warmth and radical hospitality is not just a surface-level gesture. It is a deeply ingrained survival mechanism, forged through thousands of years of shared history, sacred faith, and an unshakable refusal to ever be conquered. That radical hospitality and fierce sense of identity didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was forged in the bedrock of a history so ancient, so defiant, it reshapes everything we know about human existence. Step back 3,200,000 years into the past. In 1974, deep in the dusty soil of the Awash Valley, archaeologists uncovered a shattered skeleton that changed the world forever. Lucy. A hominid ancestor walking upright on two legs, millions of years before modern humans ever existed. This soil beneath your boots is not just another travel destination. It is the literal cradle of the human race. We all carry a piece of Ethiopia in our DNA. But having ancient roots means nothing if you cannot defend them. Jump forward to the late 19th century. European powers stormed across Africa, carving up an entire continent like a birthday cake. France took the west. Britain took the south and east. Italy wanted Ethiopia. In 1896, at the Battle of Adwa, a heavily armed Italian army marched into these rugged mountains, expecting an easy victory against a native force. Instead, they walked into a trap. Ethiopian warriors, united under Emperor Menelik II, fought back with unmatched bravery and brilliant military strategy. They obliterated the invading forces. It was a geopolitical seismic shock. Ethiopia became the only nation in all of Africa to completely defeat a European colonial superpower, preserving its sovereignty, its language, its calendar, and its pride. And that unyielding, sacred spirit is carved directly into the planet itself. Head north into the misty highlands of Lalibela. In the 12th century, local builders didn't haul stones to build churches. They didn't build upward. They carved downward directly into the solid red volcanic bedrock. "11 monolithic churches, excavated entirely underground from the top down. Imagine hand-chiseling a massive, cross-shaped cathedral out of a single piece of mountain stone using nothing but picks, hammers, and sheer faith. They didn't build these structures, they dug them out of the earth. Further north sits Gondar, known as the Camelot of Africa, a fairy tale fortress city packed with soaring stone castles, battlements, and medieval royal palaces built in the 17th century, standing as a silent monument to an empire that never bowed its knee to anyone. This is the ultimate truth of this nation. Ethiopia is not an undeveloped world trying to catch up to the West. It is an ancient, sovereign civilization that survived every attempt at erasure. So, how did this singular nation manage to freeze time itself, keeping its unique calendar, its ancient script, and its soul untouched by the rest of the modern world? The answer lies in a powerful golden trifecta: impenetrable geography, fierce independence, and unflinching faith. First, look at the land. Ethiopia is a natural fortress. Surrounded by towering mountain peaks, deep rift valleys, and scorching deserts like Danakil, the terrain itself acted as a brutal natural shield. For centuries, foreign armies and colonial powers who tried to march inland were simply swallowed up by the brutal geography before they could ever reach the heartland. Second, there is the undeniable fire of its people. The legendary victory at the Battle of Adwa was not just a military win. It was a psychological line drawn in the sand. While the rest of the continent was partitioned, colonized, and forced to adopt European languages, calendars, and systems, Ethiopia stood tall. They earned the right to keep their Coptic calendar, their Ge'ez script, and their way of life because they bled to defend it. And finally, there is the silent anchor, faith. The stone-carved churches of Lalibela are not just historical monuments. They are living proof of a deep, spiritual devotion that has bound this population together for over 1,000 years. Faith wasn't just practiced here, it was literally chiseled into the earth. When you combine a mountain fortress, an unconquerable military legacy, and an unshakable spiritual identity, you get an impenetrable shield against Western assimilation. Ethiopia didn't fall behind the rest of the world. It simply built a wall around its heritage, ensuring that its ancient past would survive straight into the future. Nothing captures this spirit better than the image of Abebe Bikila at the 1960 Rome Olympics. He became the first African athlete to ever win a gold medal in the marathon, and he ran the entire 26.2 miles through the streets of Rome barefoot. It is the ultimate symbol of a nation that has always stood tall, unbothered by the modern world's rules, choosing to walk through history on its own 2 feet. If you want to discover more hidden worlds that defy reality, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and tell us in the comments.